I never thought I'd be standing here, in front of my own mansion, with keys that actually belong to me. But before I tell you about this moment, I need to take you back to where it all started, because the journey to get here nearly destroyed me. And if you're going through something similar, please hit that subscribe button, because you're going to want to hear how this story ends. 5 years ago, I was living in my sister-in-law Monica's house. Not renting. Not paying mortgage. Living there out of pure charity, or at least that's what she reminded me of every single day. My husband Derek and I had lost everything in a business venture that went south. We trusted the wrong partner, signed documents we shouldn't have, and before we knew it, our savings, our credit, our beautiful home in suburban Chicago, all gone. Monica, Derek's older sister, offered us her guest house in Atlanta. At first, it seemed like a blessing. A chance to rebuild, to start over. But blessings sometimes come with price tags you can't see until it's too late. Monica was recently divorced, bitter about it, and seemed to take a particular pleasure in reminding me that I was living under her roof. The comments started small. "Oh, you're using the expensive coffee again? I guess I'll have to budget for that. Or make sure you don't leave lights on, the electric bill has been high." Derek would defend me sometimes, but mostly he'd just say, "She's letting us stay here for free, honey. Just let it go." So I let it go. Again and again and again. I let it go when she'd walk into our space without knocking. I let it go when she'd criticize how I cleaned or cooked or dressed. I let it go when she'd make comments about how Derek could have married someone more ambitious or more put together. But here's the thing about letting things go, they don't actually disappear. They accumulate. They build up inside you like pressure in a volcano, and eventually, something has to give. For me, that moment came on a Tuesday afternoon when I came home early from my waitressing job at a downtown restaurant. I had been picking up every shift I could, saving every penny, dreaming of the day we could afford our own place again. I walked into the main house to grab some mail, and that's when I heard them. Monica and Derek. In her living room. And the conversation I overheard changed everything. "You know she's holding you back, right?" Monica's voice was sharp, calculated. "You could be so much more without her dragging you down. You were on track to be a partner at the firm before you married her. Now look at you." I froze in the hallway, my heart hammering so hard I thought they might hear it. "Monica, that's not fair," Derek said, but his voice was weak, unconvincing. "Fair? What's not fair is watching my brilliant little brother waste his life playing house with someone who brings nothing to the table. She waitresses, Derek. At 34 years old, she serves pancakes to truckers. Is that really what you envisioned for your wife?" The silence that followed was worse than any words. Because Derek didn't defend me. He didn't shut her down. He just sighed, this long, tired sigh that told me everything I needed to know. And if you're watching this and you've ever felt that moment when you realize someone you love is embarrassed by you, hit that like button, because you understand the pain I'm about to describe. I didn't confront them. I walked back out quietly, got in my beat-up Honda, and drove. I drove for hours, tears streaming down my face, not knowing where I was going or what I was going to do. But somewhere between Atlanta and the suburbs, something shifted inside me. The hurt started transforming into something else. Anger. Determination. A burning need to prove them both wrong. I pulled into a gas station parking lot and made 3 phone calls that would change my life. The first was to my college roommate Jessica, who had been begging me to join her real estate investment company for years. I had always said no, thinking it was too risky, too complicated. But that day, I said yes. The second call was to my Uncle Robert in Florida, who I knew had some money set aside and had always believed in me. I pitched him an idea I'd been thinking about for months, a house-flipping partnership where I'd find undervalued properties and he'd provide initial capital. He said yes on the spot. The third call was to a divorce attorney, just for a consultation, because I needed to know what my options were. I wasn't ready to leave Derek, not yet, but I needed to know I could if it came to that. For the next 4 months, I said nothing to Derek or Monica about what I was doing. I kept waitressing, kept my head down, kept accepting Monica's little digs and comments. But every spare moment, I was working. I got my real estate license. I studied market trends. I drove through neighborhoods looking for distressed properties. Jessica taught me everything she knew, and Uncle Robert's first investment, $20,000, went into a foreclosed 3-bedroom ranch in a developing area outside Nashville. I negotiated with contractors, learned to spot structural issues, made 1,000 mistakes, but kept going. The property sold 4 months later for a $43,000 profit. My cut was enough to invest in 2 more properties, and this time I knew what I was doing. Derek noticed I was busy, but he assumed I was just picking up extra shifts. Monica made comments about me never being home, implying I was probably having an affair. Let her think whatever she wanted. I was building an empire. By month 8, I had flipped 5 properties and had a growing portfolio. Jessica made me a full partner in her company. Uncle Robert doubled down on his investment. I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life, and I was doing it all while living in Monica's guest house, sleeping next to a husband who was too ashamed of me to defend me to his sister. The irony wasn't lost on me. Then came the night Derek found the bank statements. I had gotten careless, left some paperwork on the kitchen counter. He came into our bedroom holding the documents, his face completely white. "What is this?" he asked. "Where did this money come from?" I could have lied. I could have made up some story. But I was done hiding. "I've been flipping houses," I said simply. "For almost a year now. That's my business account." He stared at the numbers. 6 figures. Money we'd both dreamed about having again. "Why didn't you tell me?" His voice was small, hurt. "Because you were too busy being embarrassed of the waitress wife to notice that she was building something real." The words came out sharp, cutting. I watched him flinch. "I heard you and Monica that day. I heard you let her talk about me like I was garbage, and you said nothing." Derek's face crumbled. He tried to apologize, tried to explain, but I wasn't interested in explanations anymore. The damage was done. What I needed to know was, did he actually believe what Monica said, or was he just too weak to stand up to her? Either answer was damning. We fought for hours that night. He swore he loved me, swore he'd never agreed with Monica's poison, swore he was just trying to keep the peace. But I kept coming back to that silence. That long, tired sigh that said more than words ever could. I told him I needed space, needed time to think. He begged me not to leave, but I wasn't leaving. Not yet. I was just getting started. The next morning, I did something I'd been planning for weeks. I made an offer on a property that Monica had been eyeing for months. It was a stunning historic mansion in one of Atlanta's most prestigious neighborhoods. 6 bedrooms, original hardwood floors, a garden that looked like something out of a magazine. Monica had been trying to buy it to renovate and sell, had even mentioned it to me once with this smug smile, saying it was going to be her big break back into the real estate game. She'd been trying to secure financing, but kept getting rejected because of her divorce settlement debts. I paid cash. Full asking price, no contingencies, closed in 2 weeks. When Monica found out, she showed up at the guest house screaming. I mean absolutely losing her mind. Accused me of stealing her opportunity, of being sneaky and manipulative. Derek stood there, frozen, looking between his sister and his wife like he was watching a tennis match. And that's when I made my choice. "This isn't just an investment property, Monica," I said calmly, even though my heart was racing. "This is my house. I'm moving in next month. And Derek, you need to decide. Are you coming with me, or are you staying here with your sister? The look on both their faces was worth every sleepless night, every double shift, every moment of doubt I'd experienced over the past year. Monica's face went from red to purple. Derek looked like I'd slapped him. "You can't be serious," he whispered. "I've never been more serious in my life. I built this on my own because you didn't believe in me. Because you were ashamed of me. Because you chose your sister's comfort over your wife's dignity. So now you get to choose. Me and our future in that mansion, or this guest house and Monica's approval. But you don't get both." I gave him 1 week to decide. That week was torture. He tried to talk to me, but I kept it short, kept it focused. I wasn't interested in promises anymore. I needed action. Monica, of course, worked on him constantly. I'd see them talking in hushed voices, her hands on his shoulders, playing the victim, the abandoned sister, the family card. And I waited. The day before moving day, Derek came to me with tears in his eyes. "I choose you," he said. "I should have chosen you every single day, and I'm so sorry I didn't. I was weak, and I let Monica poison our marriage, and I let you suffer because I was too much of a coward to stand up to her. But I'm choosing you now, if you'll still have me." I wanted to feel relief, wanted to feel joy, but all I felt was exhausted. "This isn't about Monica anymore," I told him. "This is about whether I can trust you again. Whether I can build a life with someone who needed to almost lose everything before he could see my worth. I don't know if I can do that, Derek. I really don't know." We moved into the mansion together, but in separate bedrooms. I told him we were starting over, from scratch, like we were dating again. He had to earn back my trust, had to prove that he chose me not because of what I'd accomplished, but because he genuinely valued me as a person. Some days are good. Some days I look at him and remember that silence, and I wonder if I made the right choice letting him come with me. Monica hasn't spoken to either of us since moving day. She sends hateful messages occasionally, accusing me of destroying her family, of being a gold digger even though I'm the one who made the gold. Derek struggles with the estrangement from his sister, but I've made it clear that she's not welcome in my home until she apologizes, genuinely apologizes, for the way she treated me. I'm not holding my breath. As for me, I'm sitting in my home office in my mansion, the one I bought with my own money, looking out at my garden, and I still can't quite believe it's real. My business is thriving. I have 3 more properties in development. Jessica and I are expanding to 3 new markets. Uncle Robert jokes that I made him rich. But more than all of that, I have my dignity back. I have proof that I'm not the failure Monica made me feel like. I'm not the burden Derek's silence implied I was. But here's what keeps me up at night, and this is where I need your help. Derek has been trying so hard. He's gone to therapy, he's set boundaries with Monica, he's supportive of my business, he celebrates every win. But I can't forget. Every time we have a moment of happiness, I remember that Tuesday afternoon, that conversation, that silence. And I don't know if I'm punishing him for something he's genuinely changed from, or if I'm protecting myself from getting hurt again. I don't know if love is supposed to survive this kind of betrayal, or if we're just prolonging the inevitable. Part of me thinks I should have left him completely, that bringing him to the mansion was a mistake. Another part thinks that people deserve second chances, that growth is real, that we could build something even stronger from these broken pieces. But I honestly don't know which part is right. So I'm asking you, because I need perspective I can't get from inside this situation. Was I wrong to give him another chance? Should I have cut ties completely and started fresh? Or am I being too hard on him, holding on to hurt that's preventing us from moving forward? Can a marriage survive when one person stops defending the other, even temporarily? Is trust something that can be rebuilt, or once it's shattered, is it shattered forever? I need to know what you think because I'm standing at another crossroads, and this time the choice isn't about money or houses or proving anyone wrong. It's about whether I open my heart again to someone who once let it break, or whether I protect myself and walk away from a man who claims he's changed. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell me your stories. Have you forgiven someone who hurt you like this? Did it work out? Or did you walk away and find something better? I need your wisdom, because right now I have everything I ever wanted materially, but emotionally, I'm still that girl crying in her car in a gas station parking lot, trying to figure out what comes next. What would you do? I really want to know.